Welcome back to the Buzzbassador YouTube channel. My name is Calvin. I am one of the co-founders of Buzzbassador, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys our new campaign suite that we have been working for the past year to build, and it's been launched for a little while, but want to circle back and show you everything that you can do inside of the Buzzbassador's campaign suite. We built this mainly for brand owners that have a hard time activating their influencers. And so what I mean by that is what the typical flow for an ambassador program looks like, especially when you're starting from zero, is you have to reach out to influencers. You got to get them their attribution. You got to get them set up with their accounts. If you're using Buzzbassador, their Buzzbassador account. And so there's time that plays into onboarding an influencer. And then once you have them as a part of your program and they have their affiliate links and discount codes, you're just hoping that they go out and post. And what we did is we built Buzzbassador Campaign Suite to activate that next step. So giving them mission-driven campaigns so that they know exactly what they do after they've been onboarded to Buzzbassador, and then giving them the tools they need to actually go out and start posting or start generating sales within the campaign tool. So I'm going to jump right into the campaigns here. Instead of doing a complete walkthrough of Buzzbassador, if you have any questions or want to see full videos about that, we have some videos down in our YouTube channel, so please don't hesitate to check those out if you want a more fulsome walkthrough of the product. Today we're going to focus on campaigns, so we're going to go ahead and navigate over to the campaign section. And this is where the suite lives. So you're going to be able to see all of your active campaigns, all of the campaigns that have ended, or any draft campaigns, all from this section here. And what we did is we actually built two different campaign types. So you have the meet the sales goal type and you have the post on social. The meet the sales goal type is essentially rewarding your members for reaching a sales goal in a certain time period. For example, generate $100 in sales this month and you're going to get a $10 bonus on top of your commissions. And the post on social is Buzzbassador's first step into UGC. So allowing you brand owners to essentially reward influencers for making posts on social media. So for example, post on TikTok, earn $50. So really great ways to mobilize your influencers, and it just creates a gamified experience for them. One thing to note is we do have more campaigns coming soon. We've got a ton in the pipeline, a lot that we're excited about. But for purposes of today's video, we're gonna show you what these campaign tools look like. So we're just gonna go in and create a meet the sales goal campaign first. And I've already got some data pulled up here, so we'll just plug and play. But essentially, you can craft what this campaign will look like for the influencers. And what Buzzbassador does is we take this web page and we show it in your iframe of your Shopify site. So I'll get to that a little bit later in this video, but we'll just go through the creation process. So this is what the influencers will see when they've been assigned a campaign. So Black Friday is coming up in a couple months. I know a lot of brand owners are getting ready for Black Friday, so we'll just stick with that theme. So we're going to call this campaign Black Friday 2025 Sales Blitz. And then as far as the cover photo, we do allow you to have cover photos similar to our landing pages. If you're already familiar with Buzzbassador, similar to the application form, you can customize these assets and really get them on brand with your website. The next thing that you would do is plug in the description. Like I said, I've already generated one, but this is just to explain a little bit more about what they need to do to complete this campaign. So Black Friday is here. Hit 5 orders to earn $50 bonus. You have to do this by a certain time period. So just explaining what the campaign is about. And then if you have certain terms, so for example, most of our clients will have like campaign terms, you can plug those in here. And if you need help from our team to help you draft terms or just give you some boilerplate templates, you can reach out and our team can help with that. So we'll hit next here. And then the requirement section is where you set the parameters of what they need to do in order to meet this sales goal. For example, we're going to do a quantity of orders rather than a sum. But if you wanted to do a sum of orders, so for example, hit $100 in sales this month and you'll receive bonus. So you can certainly do that inside of Buzzbassador, but for purpose of this video, we're just going to do the quantity. So we're just going to say 5 for the goal amount because that's what we put in the description there. And then I'm just going to leave the product eligibility open to all products, but if you had, very specific products that you wanted to create this campaign around, so for example, let's just say you had your soap company and you sell certain soaps during the holidays, you can, specify what products you want this campaign to only be available for, and same thing with specific collections as well. Like I said, I'm going to set this to be available for all products. So next is the reward section. And here's where we're going to put the amount that they are going to be eligible to get. So we'll set that to 50. And what's cool about Buzzbassador is you can reward your ambassadors or influencers in several different ways. It can be a cash payment like this, or you can reward them in what's called store credit. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as this video goes on. But there's a few different ways that you can reward influencers for completing campaigns, but we're going to structure the amount of that reward to be $50. So in the assignee section, you can assign this to either all of your members, or if you wanted to assign it to a certain cohort of members, you can do that as well. I'm going to just, for purposes of this video, set it to all, but just so you can see here, you can set it to a certain user if it was just one influencer that you wanted to have access to this campaign. We don't see that happen a lot unless you're working with a bigger influencer, a macro or mega influencer, and they're the only one in this campaign. Most brands will either designate a certain program. So for example, if you have multiple programs in Buzzbassador, maybe my VIP program is only going to get access to this campaign, or if I have a more grassroots affiliate program, they are going to get access to this campaign. So that's how we typically see brands designate who gets access. But like I said, we're going to just select all members. And then another cool thing about this is you can create these campaigns to be evergreen. So for example, what we see a lot of times is brands will say, we want to immediately grasp that excitement that influencers or creators have once they join a program. And so what we're going to do is we're going to automatically assign this campaign to all new members. For example, we're just going to have this campaign just running indefinitely. And as new members join Buzzbassador and my program, this campaign, they're going to be assigned to this campaign. Same thing with, programs. And if we were designating this to a specific program, so if it was the VIP Glow program, I can automatically assign this campaign to new members that join that program. But we'll just set this up for all new members, and then we schedule the campaign. So we're in August right now, but let's just assume that we're closer to Black Friday. Maybe we wanted this to start in November. So we would, schedule this to start in November, and then we can also schedule it to end, let's say we want to end it December 31st. But you can choose how to structure this. If this was an evergreen campaign, meaning this is just running and as new members are joining, they have the ability to complete this campaign, we can set this as an ongoing campaign and allow people to complete this indefinitely. And you can see what this looks like and continue to play around with the copy, play around with the imagery, get that flexibility, and you can craft this page. But like I mentioned before, Buzzbassador takes this modal and puts it on your Shopify site. So there's no code that's involved in this. Buzzbassador is doing that automatically. And whenever this campaign is set and scheduled and it actually meets the start date, influencers that have been assigned to this campaign are going to get notified. So Buzzbassador is going to send them an email saying Pure Glow Essentials has assigned you to the sales goal campaign. Click here, and it's the link to this campaign. Click here to learn more about this campaign. And so they're going to be able to see all the things that we just set up, like the title, description, when the campaign starts, what the campaign goal is, and what the reward amount is. So that's a sales goal campaign. I'm not going to set this live. I'm actually going to back out here, and then I want to jump into the post on social campaign. So we'll go ahead, and it's very similar to the sales goal campaign. We're going to get the title and the description. Like I said, I've already got this sort of queued up. We're going to plug this in here. I've just got some images here. We'll pull this one. And then we're going to do the campaign description here. So same process as the Meet the Sales Goal campaign. And then where I think having a campaign terms and description is really important is for post on social. So we have a lot of brands that are repurposing this content. They want to run ads with the content, or they want to repost it. And so you want to make sure that you have that contractual agreement. And if you have those terms, you want to go ahead and plug that in here. And like I said, our team can help you craft this, what this looks like. And then we move on to the requirements. So a little bit different than the sales goal campaigns. This is where we actually select what platform we want our influencers or creators to post on. So I believe we said that it's going to be a TikTok post. Actually, did we say what this is going to be? Let me go back here. We didn't actually say what we said it's an Instagram post. So we're going to make this an Instagram post, but if we wanted to make it a TikTok post or a YouTube post or a YouTube video, you can designate what platforms you want. So we're going to make this an Instagram post. You can also set the content type, whether we want it to be a reel or story. We're just going to go with post for now. And then content requirements. So this is where you want to be specific as to describe what type of post you want them to make. So I just did dummy content here, but you want to be really specific as to what type of content you want them to make, how long that content needs to be, what they need to showcase, certain words that may need to be said in the video. So you want to be specific here. But to keep this video short, I've just done that. And then for the required mentions, you want to put your brand in here. So we'll put @our_brand. You want to make this your brand. And then any required hashtags. So if you're requiring them to have a hashtag, you may have hashtag ad or hashtag, something that is branded for you guys. You can put that in this section here. And then next is similar to the Meet the Sales Goal. You can set the reward amount. We'll just make this another $50 reward. Assign these same as the Meet the Sales Goal. I'm going to make this assigned to all members and then assign to all new members. And then same thing with scheduling. We can go ahead and schedule it out. We said around Black Friday, maybe November, and then we'll just do December. And then again, you can view what this looks like on your website. So you could see the image that we chose generates here, the title, description, post requirements, what the campaign requirement is. So it's an Instagram post, the reward amount, the hashtags that are required, the brand mentions that are required. So again, whenever the campaign reaches the start date, Buzzbassador sends out an email to all of the ambassadors letting them know, hey, you've been assigned to this campaign. The start date is now, the end date is this, and they can click the link and view this page. So one of the great things about Buzzbassador is you can also integrate with Klaviyo. So if you want to send nurturing campaigns alongside of the actual campaign that's generated by Buzzbassador, you can certainly do that by connecting your Klaviyo account and then creating custom flows. So for example, if you want to get people excited about the campaign before the start date, you can do that with Klaviyo, and in fact, a lot of our brands actually do that. And one of the cool things about Buzzbassador is if you need help creating certain flows, we're Klaviyo partners, so we can help you build those flows. Just reach out to my team, and we can help you with that process. One thing that I mentioned in the campaign building process in the reward section is the ability to offer multiple kinds of rewards. So one of the newest functions inside of Buzzbassador is the ability to send store credit. So you're able to, instead of cash payments, send them store credit so that they can get discounts for products on your site. And we've seen brands use this and have a ton of success. I think this is really great for brands that have lower margins and are really margin focused. So they can't just send out a whole bunch of cash payments, but they can, give discounts on products on their site. And so we see this being really successful amongst brands that look like that. And then you have also the ability to use PayPal, which has been on Buzzbassador for forever, and then Tremendous. So Tremendous allows you to send, I believe, 600 different payment types. Cool thing about Tremendous is the influencer or creator or member doesn't have to have a Tremendous account. With PayPal, you have to have a PayPal account. Tremendous will send them an email saying, hey, Pure Glow Essentials has sent you $50 for your campaign. How do you want this payment? And they have the ability to choose, do I want a Venmo? Do I want this direct deposited to my bank account? Do I want this in a Starbucks gift card? So there's 600 different payment methods that the influencers have access to with Tremendous. And the way this works is you can actually go to the rewards section, click campaign. If there are campaigns that have been finished and people have completed them, you'll see Emily Frost here has a $75 payment that's available. They have store credit options available and Tremendous option available. They don't have PayPal. There would be, if Emily had a PayPal account connected to her Buzzbassador account, you would see PayPal here. And so what we can do is click pay and then select which option we want to pay with. So now that we've created the campaign, I want to show you what it looks like when people actually finish these campaigns. Now we're in our staging app, so there's not a whole lot of data here, but I do just want to show you what this looks like. For example, we have a campaign here who has one completion. So just to show you, actually, let me go to the sales. Let me see if I could have one that has a sales. This one's active. Now it doesn't have anybody that's completed it, but essentially you'll see, okay, Emily has been assigned to this campaign. She has $871, which was one order, but she didn't reach the minimum yet. So she still has to reach the minimum. Now you'll see this person, Ethan, has 2 orders. And so as these people start generating orders and they reach this amount, then they'll be completed and eligible for that reward payment. So that's what that looks like. You're able to see all of the assignees, what their progress, and you're able to track that inside Buzzbassador. And for the posts on social campaigns, you can also track activity as well. So you'll be able to see what content has been posted and you're able to approve the content. Now, for example, if this person didn't follow our requirements, we could decline and provide feedback. This person then can resubmit the content. And so just a really cool way to actually check out the post, make sure they've done what needs to be done. And one thing that I need to show you is when a influencer is ready to submit content, they've gone through, they've done this, they've created the content, they're ready to submit it. They can submit by going back to the link that they were given at the scheduling, and they can go ahead and submit their post. So they would just put in, let me go back here. So if I'm Ava, I would put in my email address. I'm going to put in my post link. So we'll just go to Instagram and grab post link. Let's just act like I've posted this. So shout out to Belly, which is one of our brands that are on Buzzbassador. We'll just take their post here and then copy that in. And then if I require screenshots, they can then upload their screenshots as well. And then Buzzbassador tracks that into this activity section. And then, like I said, you're able to review that, approve, decline as necessary. So that's everything inside the campaign suite. I know we flew through that. There's a lot of intricate things that you can do inside the campaign suite. So if you would like a demo, you can go to our website and schedule a demo. You can also try campaigns for free. So if you already have Buzzbassador installed, you can just go to the campaign section and toy around with it. If you don't have Buzzbassador installed to your Shopify site, we do offer a 14-day free trial where you can test out the campaigns and see how it works for your brand. So I appreciate you staying to the end of this video. If you guys have any questions, please put them down below in the comments section. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to this YouTube channel, that really helps us out. So we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.